another time on the show. The number one plug for grassroots sports. Designed and created just for the development of grassroots sports within your state and a bit further in Nigeria. Last week we went national, today we are back in the state. Of course, this is your number one plug, like I said, grassroots sports. They used to say work without play makes Jack a dull boy, but everything without sports makes me the dullest guy ever leave it. And I remain Raymond to look by the sports Illuminator. So welcome on board once again. Well, this is Pensioners 106.7 FM at Barry Gonireke in the city of Ibadan. So what are we discussing this afternoon? Of course, we can't underrate grassroots sport, which is definitely the platform for any great sporting nation. We've discussed a plethora of sports. I've discussed a lot when it comes to grassroots level. But today we're going to discuss what we have never discussed on this program before. We're going to the game of tennis. Yeah, the game of tennis is what we're going to look at this afternoon. I've got with me the chairman of the Tennis Association. Right in the building, the person of Mr. Akin Orebiyi, who is the current chairman of your State Tennis Association. Okay, let me welcome all my guests before we go further on the program. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Raymond.
You're welcome to Pensioners 106.7 FM.
Thank you. Good afternoon, listeners at home.
So you heard it voice. That is my guest, Mr. Akin Orebiyi, who is the president, the current chairman of your State Tennis Association. Now let me do a little bit of introduction of my guest, who Mr. Akin Orebiyi is actually. Akin Orebiyi was born on the 8th of June 1958. Attended Egbado College, Ilaro, and of course the Polytechnic Ibadan. He once worked at Total Nigeria PLC as a branch accountant, where he was appointed as the Forces Admin in 1999. Of course, he managed and retired in 2004 as data analysis before venturing into his own private business. He was once the president of Ibadan Tennis Club from 2006 to 2010. He represented Total in Nigeria oil industry and games and won several laurels. He was club champion in tennis for 6 consecutive years at Ibadan Tennis Club. And of course, he is the current president of the Young Men Christian Association. I was appointed the chairman of your State Tennis Association in February 2020. A little bit of a bio. The businessman, you can call him, the former table tennis player in the state, and current president, current chairman of your State Tennis Association. Any missing piece? Maybe I need a correction.
No, you're online.
I'm online.
You're on course.
Okay, so we go direct into our discussion this afternoon. Tennis in your state. First of all, let me begin this way. Once again, welcome aboard. If you want to listen to us, you can join us live on our Facebook page, Pensioners FM. On our Facebook page, Pensioners FM. Just Pensioners FM, and you'll be live with us, watching us live, of course, on this dial. We'll begin straight. Tennis. Going up. As before you ventured in tennis, what brought? I mean, there was something that led you to be a tennis player. What
Um,
was that thing?
Thank you, Raymond. Before I answer that question, let me first of all um, introduce, though in absentia, other members of the Oyo State Tennis Association. Because I am just the chairman, we have other members too.
Okay, go ahead.
We have the vice chairman is Mr. Tayo Ogundano, who is the brewery manager of Nigerian Brewery PLC, Ibadan. Then we have Ambassador Romoke Ayinde, who is the CEO of Kemroll Group. And she's a manufacturer of sporting equipment.
Okay.
She's the manufacturing of sporting equipment and other things that has to do with sports.
Sports.
We have Tunji Omidino, who is a businessman. We have Sunday Ojele, manager Nigerian Bottling Company, Coca-Cola. Then we have Mrs. Oyewusi, who is a staff of Oyo State Sports Council, who is our secretary.
Okay.
Then we have Tiri, who is the head coach of Oyo State Tennis.
Okay.
Then we have Mrs. Peju Faboyinde, who is the female coach for our female wing.
Okay.
And we have Mumone Babalola, who is Oyo State's #1 player. He is a coach and a player. Thank you.
And that makes all the board members and those of who have been overseeing the growth of tennis as far as Oyo State is concerned.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that. That's an addendum. Definitely, we need to know that as well. I must say a very big thank you to the chairman for that. So going forward, like I said, how did you find yourself in tennis? What did you see of all sports?
My late father was a very good sportsman. He was a footballer. I too was initially a footballer. Later I changed to table tennis. I played table tennis for Total Nigeria PLC in the oil industry games for so many years. And I think it was in 1995 or 1996 during the oil industry games. My opponent then came from Shell, I think from Warriors, so I can't remember now. The guy defeated me 21-2.
Table tennis.
Table tennis.
Okay.
And after the game, he came to me. He said, "You see, because I've not been practicing." And I said, "If you have been practicing, what would have been discussed?" There and then I felt, no. For somebody to have defeated the hope of Total, then 21-2. My best bet is let me go for something else. So that was what changed me.
So you left table tennis
for tennis.
For tennis.
And ever since, I have no regrets.
Ever since, you have no... 1995, 96, you said. I was far back, way forward. So that was what led you. So since you went into tennis fully, how has tennis been?
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. I've won, even while in Total 2, in all industry games, I played, because all industry games used to be every 2 years. I think I played twice again before I opted out in 2004.
Okay.
And during those periods, I won some laurels for Total. And when I joined Ibadan Tennis Club purely because of tennis. And since I joined, if you come to the club there, you'll see my name.
I saw it the last time.
I've won it 6 consecutive years, the club championship.
Okay.
And some other sponsored tournaments. But probably because of one is not getting younger. Some younger ones have
coming on board.
they have come up.
Okay.
And
displace the champion.
Exactly.
Definitely it happens because sport is long term and there's always a time for when the champion.
The one good thing I derive from playing tennis is that I hardly fall sick. Apart from maybe after doing anything in excess, maybe I have a small headache. But for me to fall sick, no.
maybe in general that is the essence of sports.
Yeah.
It keeps the heart healthy and you hardly fall sick. I mean, just because you are taking part in sporting activities. I think that's one advantage of sports. Okay, let's go to the basic aspect of tennis. I've watched tennis. I know a lot of people have seen tennis on the TV, but then some I even want to know what tennis itself is all about. Some want to know how is it being scored. We had so many rules. How is this game? I mean, being scored, players playing the doubles and the likes. I mean, a lot of people want to have what is it like.
Yeah, let me start with describing the types of courts we have for tennis. We have clay courts, and we have hard courts. Then we have grass court. I don't think we have any grass court in Nigeria. The last time I saw one was in UK.
That is not Nigeria.
I know. I know. I don't think.
And the grass court in Nigeria.
I don't think there's any grass court in Nigeria. I start to be corrected, but as of now, I don't think so. Now, tennis game can be played by either 2 people or 4 people. If it is singles, that means 2 players will face each other. And if it is doubles, that means 4 players, 2 on each side, will face each other. Then we have mixed doubles too, wherein you have a male and a female pairing together to face another set of male and female.
Clay court, hard court, of course grass court. Hard court and clay court, what are the differences between both? But grass, you can easily say grass court, grass is on it. But then hard court, clay court, any form of difference between both?
Oh, sure. Like the name, hard court is made of concrete surface, while you have ant hill. While ant hill is used in making clay courts.
Ant hill.
Ant hill, yeah.
The one we have at Adama Stadium is definitely hard court.
Oh, definitely at Adama Stadium. Yeah.
And of course, the one at tennis club.
We have 2 clay courts in tennis club and 4 hard courts. Recreation club here, they have 4 clay courts and 4 hard courts.
4 clay court, 4 hard court.
4 hard courts in recreation club. I don't think there's any other club in Oyo State that have clay courts apart from Ibadan Tennis Club and Ibadan Recreation Club.
So the scoring of the game, how do we get a winner in each set?
Oh, okay.
How many sets do we go? Do we play? How do we get the winner? Is there a tie break? Is there a point break? I mean, all this one, I want our listeners to understand what tennis.
It all depends on the kind of tournament you want to play. Basically, we normally play best of 3 games. Okay. But at international tournaments, the men play
best of 5
games, and the ladies play best of 3. And for best of 3 games, if it is singles, you start from love, which is 0-0. That is when to start the game after tossing. Now, the first person to score a point, if the point is scored by the server, that is the player who is serving, that means the umpire will record him 15 love. But if the first point is scored by the opponent, that is love 15. 30 love 30, 40 love 40. It could be either 40-15, 40-30. If the opponent is able to break that service at 40-30, that means they are going to deuce.
Okay.
And whoever wins the deuce then after the deuce, then you now move on.
Okay, so in the spirit of three, that means a set of 3.
You have 6 games for a set.
6 games for a set.
Yeah.
Okay. And going by it, no duration until we have a winner.
No duration. No, it's not. There's no time limit.
You can play as much as.
Even if you can play as long as 5 hours if you
Yeah,
have the stamina.
I've seen games like I've seen games like 5 hours definitely, especially in Grand Slam tournaments. Guys go more than 5 hours
More than 5 hours.
to get a winner in a
But
particular game.
at this level here, I don't think most of the games last more than 2 hours. That would have been a very tough one, Sha.
A very tough
A
one.
very tough one.
I can see something like carpet court.
Carpet court.
Yeah.
Okay, that's synthetic court.
Okay, synthetic court.
Yeah.
That one is just coming on board. So hard court, clay court, right there in Nigeria. No grass court.
No grass court.
There's no grass court, then there's no carpet court. Definitely. Okay, still on sport drill. I'm trying to break down the world tennis.
Synthetic court. I think there is one in Lagos now.
Okay, one in Lagos.
Yeah,
Lagos State.
in Lagos State.
I'm trying to break down tennis, the game of tennis itself. Now you can hear it's an indoor game, mostly indoors. Tennis
Out.
But I think I've seen some indoor courts before.
Not in Nigeria.
You just have to.
Not in Nigeria.
Not in this country. Okay, moving further now. I want to compare now tennis in your days to tennis now.
Naturally, things are moving up.
Okay.
The way tennis is played when I started in 1995 or 1996, it's like the younger ones play faster than what we were playing then now. They play faster and their strokes are better than what we were playing then.
Right now?
Right now.
That means there have been cases of
Serious improvement in the game of tennis.
in the game of tennis. And of course, new rules coming on board.
No.
They still maintain
They
the
still
same
maintain
rules
the same rules
till now.
till now.
Okay, let's break it down to Oyo State. Oyo State tennis now. Let me start from then. Oyo State tennis then. Back in the old days. You just mentioned some tournaments. Oil and gas, total, thereabout. Comparison. Tennis then, tennis now in Oyo State. How will you compare both?
Tennis in Oyo State now, that definitely has improved better than what it was years back. And don't forget, for all these games, especially for the younger ones who are playing tennis, they need to be motivated. That spurs them to better performance. It's most unfortunate that the pandemic that occurred all over the world this year has affected so many things, including sports.
Yeah, definitely.
We were just preparing to go for National Sports Festival when the thing broke out. And up till now, we have not been told when this thing will come up again or whether it will come up. We don't know yet. And as of that time, when we came on board in February.
Yes.
And then we were supposed to go for national festivals in March or thereabout. We were just preparing, and I can tell you, our players were ready then. They were really prepared and ready. The last tournament for National Sports Festival was in 2018. I think Oyo State came 9th in tennis. And from the discussions we had with our players, they promised we will do better than 9th. And even though at the initial stage, all the players, not tennis alone
Tennis
now,
in every athlete.
every athlete, they were initially skeptical about going there to
Going there.
perform.
Okay.
Reason being that those who won laurels in 2018 were promised some goodies by the immediate past administration. They did not give them anything. But thank God, our Governor Sheyi Makinde, has fulfilled all obligations. They have been paid. So everybody is in the right frame of mind now, and everybody is ready. That would have been the first test case we will have as members of the association,
Okay.
for us to showcase what we have and what we are going to do. But unfortunately, we have not been able to do that because of the pandemic.
Because of the pandemic, definitely, everybody got affected by that. But then, thank God, I think it's getting down bit by bit, because just yesterday, I think the federal government says non-contact sports cannot go ahead across the country. So maybe we might still have the NSF, National Sports Festivals, this year. We don't know. It depends on the government's ruling. Okay, moving forward, sir. Yeah, you talk about the players being rewarded and the likes, but I'm very particular about a development of tennis players within the state. Yes, you came on board in 2020, but before coming on board, I mean, you will have known something about how the growth of tennis has been within your state. That was why I asked. Talking about development of tennis players within the state.
Yeah, I'm quite aware that towards developing this game, some schools now employ coaches who now train their students about the art of tennis playing. I am aware of that. In our days, then there was nothing like that.
No school tennis.
I didn't know anything about tennis when I was in secondary school.
Wow.
It was not being taught in our school then.
Okay.
So, and for now, that's one of the improvements we have noticed. I want to term it catch them young.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. And one can see that most of these students enjoy tennis. They love to play tennis. We have some boys in our club who are doing very well in tennis now. They started
At a very young age.
at a very young age. There is this guy. Wale Sampson. I think it was in primary school when he started coming to the club. He started as a ball boy. From there, he developed. I think it's Oyo State number 3 now. He's Oyo State number 3 now. And along the line, he was still going to school. He's a next student of the Polytechnic in Nede.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's doing very well. And there's another boy too, Sunday James. They both started together. Sunday James lives and works in Paracourt now, and is still playing tennis. These are rated tennis players in Nigeria now.
Apparently, let's see this like this way. If you look at Oyo State tennis in comparison with other states in Nigeria, where will you put Oyo State?
Presently, I don't think. You see, like I said earlier, all these games need serious motivations. The way other states motivate their players, we have not been doing that in Oyo State. But I want to believe with the new governor we have, things will change.
I want to believe with the new governor we have,
Things will change.
In terms
for the better.
For the better. Okay, in terms of facilities available, I mean the equipment available for these players to make use of, do we have enough?
Definitely we don't. When we came in February, The first thing, we had a meeting with the players, with the state players, and they complained about not having some items. The association provided fund for them to go and buy whatever they need. That is, I mean, we cannot, I mean, the association is to act as support to Ministry of, to Sports Council, and that is exactly what we are doing. Now, I just heard that our governor visited Benin recently, and he saw the way the stadium there
It looks like
had been had been renovated and changed,
transformed.
So he came back to Ibadan, and I think he has given instructions and approval that Adamasingba should be replicated with that of Benin.
Yeah, the news came out yesterday via the Oyo State Sport Commissioner, Honorable Fakowere, saying the governor approved renovation to an international standard.
Exactly.
So
with that, we are sure it's going to motivate everybody, the coaches, the players, everybody, to want to put in their best.
More effort. So saying we're looking at a line which sport tennis in the state is going to grow.
Oh, sure.
To a better extent.
Sure.
Okay, let's take tennis categories. Let's look at it this way.
Sorry, we have there's this young guy, Onyekachi Ogunjiofo, who represented. He won a silver at the last West and Central Africa Under-12 Championship in March. And I don't know, because of this lockdown, whatever, we have not been able to make a serious presentation of this feat to the commissioner and to the governor.
Because of the lockdown.
Down.
Okay. He won that. When was that? When did he win that?
March this year.
March this year.
Yeah.
He won the West African
and West and Central Africa Championship.
Long tennis in Oyo State. After speaking with the chairman of Oyo State Tennis Association, Mr. Akin Orebiyi. So coming on board in 2020, what programs have you highlighted? Your plans for the Tennis Association?
Yeah, we had our inaugural meeting as members of the association on the 4th of March. Yeah, on the 4th of March 2020, wherein we highlighted some programs which we discussed with the head coach for the development of the state tennis. And one of the things we even did, which we were able to do before the lockdown, was that until we came on board, there was no account for the association. Okay. We have succeeded in opening that one, because what we feel is whatever we are going to do, there must be transparency. We have opened that one so that whatever we're able to get from sponsors or whatever will go into that account, and everybody will now agree on what we want to do.
Okay.
We have some programs on ground which we were thinking of then, but whatever programs we have cannot be pursued again for now until everything.
Definitely.
Like the programs we had, we were thinking of going for Central Bank National Open in May. That is gone. All those activities lined up for the year, they will have to start all over again. And we are waiting for what will come up from the Federation.
Okay, waiting for what will come up from the federation. But then, away from the activities, before coming on board, I know you will have scheduled some developmental programs that will aid. I mean, that will look at how tennis can grow. That will, you mentioned something like catch them young. That will look into the nitty gritty. I mean, going straight to the grassroots level of tennis and see how we can fish out super players talent, raw talent that could, I mean, that could represent your state. I mean, that we could get and we bring them all out, which is at the basics. Yeah, we have established players, just like we've mentioned them, who could go for tournament, but replacing these stars. I mean, what are the program on ground? What are the plan on ground to make sure that we'll be able to sort out a lot of raw talent within the grassroots?
Good. When I was introducing members of the team, I mentioned one ambassador, Romokaya Ayide.
Yes.
We have decided to team up with her because she is into grassroots development of tennis. She has a structure. She has her own structure wherein she trains all these young people. So we have agreed to team up with her and move on. And in line with, we are teaming up with the head coach too, both the male and the female. We have one female coach for our female players. Then we have 3 male coaches for the boys.
So that means in general you're having 4
Coaches in Oyo State.
and is that enough?
For now, I think yes. But I don't know. You know, these coaches are paid by Sports Council. I don't know what their post is, and I don't know what their budget is.
But in a bid to develop players, I mean, tennis for that matter, or even every sporting game, then I think 4 coaches just for tennis, except we are having just 2 players to look after. That is where we can say 4 coaches is enough. But if you're going to have more than 10, 20, maybe I should ask this way. How many players do we even have? Tennis players, active ones in Oyo State alone. I mean, then do we have to 20, 30, 50?
No. Almost 20.
Okay, if both male and female, 20, then 4 coaches taking care of 20, every aspect of the game.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I don't know what the budget is in Sports Council. They have to take care of these players, these coaches. They have to pay them. So they have their own budget, which is not known to us.
Okay, the phone line is buzzing, and you have to put the phone line ready. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, your name and where you're calling from?
My name is William.
Okay, William from Olugun. Welcome on board.
Yes, thank you very much. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I want to take my own clip point from your anchor.
Okay.
As regards the coaches that we have in your state.
Okay.
There is no way the coaches we have presently is near enough for what we are aspiring to do. So if we are truly serious about developing this tennis state, then there is a need for us to truly invest in coaches. Now, secondly, sir, you said something at the beginning of your interview.
Yep.
You said we do not have a single grass court in Nigeria. I find that a bit difficult to accept. So I want to ask, sir, is it the cost of having that grass court or the maintenance that is responsible for not having just one single grass court in this country?
I want to believe it has to do with the maintenance.
So
Even the clay courts we have, they are very expensive to maintain.
Okay,
And
sir,
definitely the grass courts will be much more expensive to maintain.
Sir, the grass court, sir,
Yeah.
if I may ask, contains grass.
Yes.
And grass That's got to be mowed. It's
Yes.
mower.
Yes.
So how expensive is that? An entire country not be able to
You know,
afford.
I want to believe it's not the same usual grass.
Okay, but I want to say this. Before, as a player of lawn tennis, before you can be fully certified as a pro, you must have idea of how this three costs. You know, how to play on this.
On the 3 courts, yes.
Yes. Now we have those two courts we are playing on, which means our players are at the service because they don't have the entirety of the course they should practice on. So please, I want to appeal to you. Let's do something without having one of that grass court in your state. I don't think, no matter how expensive it is, it cannot be that expensive that an entire state will not be able to have and to maintain one. Please.
Your observation is well noted. I have taken it down, and I hope to discuss that with the GM Sports Council and the Commissioner for Sports.
Thank you, sir. See, personally, I love lawn tennis, but how are we going to fully incorporate it in school? Like this hard court. If one has 10 bags of snakes, you can have a structure like that on ground, just the net that is remaining. So it won't be that expensive to have this court in our secondary schools, so as our children can find outlets in this court and to play in. So please, you are a new manager on board. There's so much that you have to achieve. I want to appeal to you.
Thank you very much. Your point is well noted. And like I said earlier, these are things I am going to discuss personally with the GM and the State Commissioner for Sports and Youth.
All right, sir. I wish you all the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, William. Okay, let me officially open the phone line 090 81 11 10 67 or 080 80 10 10 67 or 090 81 11 10 67 or 080 80 10 10 67. We're still discussing tennis in your state. I have the chairman of the State Tennis Association, Mr. Akin Orebiyi. I was discussing about coaches within Oyo State, handling the game of tennis, and 20 athletes, 4 coaches, and I felt it's not enough. When you look at every aspect of the game to be improved on, 20 athletes, 4 coaches, you have 3 men, and that means a female is only taking care of just a female is only in charge of the female, just one female coach for the number of female tennis players we have. But that is even within Ibadan metropolis. Now you talk of going to every other zones within the country, within the state. Don't we think we have short? I mean, personnel. We are short of personnel to make this game. If you're going to discover players, improve them,
have to move out,
and do more beyond Ibadan. Even if you're going to limit to Ibadan, for instance, don't you think we are short of personnel?
Like I said earlier, this issue of personnel has to do with Sports Council. I don't know what their budget is. We came on board in February. The clampdown started in March.
Yes.
And the states and the federal government, they are just releasing us
bit
by bit. So I have not, since the lockdown started, I have not had any contact with the GM. That is the truth.
Okay.
Because what is the essence of contacting anybody when you won't be able to follow up?
There might be maybe there could be plan drafted so that when after the lockdown we can start executing on this.
I have noted that down now.
Okay.
Okay, I have the coach of Ibadan tennis also here with me. And before I introduce him, let me pick this call fast one. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Sorry, Williams
Okay,
calling back.
Williams calling back.
Please, I want to ask, do we still have this PhD in school?
Physical and health education.
Yes, yes.
I think so.
Because those days, when I was in school, our teachers in class, when they teach us physical health education, they come to the field and practicalize what we taught us.
Yeah.
In so many ways, that was how we were introduced to most of these sports. Basketball.
We lost that call. William, you can call back in case you want to be part as well. 090 81 11 10 67 or 080 80 10 37. Like I said, I have the coach of your state tennis here, the head coach. I hope I'm right. Yeah, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Can we just get little bit of introduction from you?
Good afternoon, listener. My name is Ganiu Trimisiu, the head tennis coach of your state sport council.
Okay, tennis. You've been the coach since when?
I've been the coach since 2006, 1st November.
2006.
Yes.
The former tennis player as well?
Of course, I play for state.
For the state?
Yes.
Okay, 2006 now, let's get tennis
So,
in Oyo State. How is tennis in Oyo State? You have been the coach.
yeah, definitely there's a lot of improvement since I came in, especially at the junior level.
Okay.
In a category, because Oyo State is reckoned with at the juniors national. Because most of our athletes, they have won national tournament, even go to represent Nigeria at the tennis event.
Really? Okay, I think the caller is off. 09081 11 10 67 and 080 10 10 67. In tennis, what do you think Oyo State needs to get better? Or are we okay with the way we are now?
No, not at all. There's a lot of things we need to put in place, especially the chairman has said it all. We need to have a lot of equipment, because sometimes we lack equipment to work with. So, and if there's no equipment, it will be difficult for the players to really perform. And even at that, there's some tournament that we need to attend. And if we skip those tournaments, it affect the performance and the rating of the players.
Is that a tennis competition, like a league in Oyo State?
Not really. We don't have.
Not really. Then how many tennis competitions do we have in Oyo State, personally? Not private, maybe organized within, maybe governmental? Or before I break it down to private?
We don't have any tournament for now. The one we have is for the adult, that's Nigerian Beauty.
Okay.
That's Nigerian Brewery sponsor tournament. That's normally host at recreation club.
So that's the only one. Then how do you rate an athlete performance from training alone without tournament to check on them before going for any? Yes, we've won laurels, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe because possibly you can have exceptional players, but that trend cannot continue working because it will get to a stage other people will catch up.
Yeah.
And when you don't test your players before taking them out,
Yeah.
it might be a disgrace at the particular time.
Yeah.
So when there is no tournament, how do you rate your players? And what are the plans to bring in tournament on board to help Oyo State?
Actually, before we embark on any tournament, we must have enough training, and even at that, we do some kind of trial within them.
Okay.
So they have to play round robin. They play each other. So by then we'll be able to know who and who is in top form. And apart from that, when we get to a tournament, national tournament, their performance will determine, because at the national level, they have a national rating for each
player,
each individual category. So from there, you know where you belong.
From there, you know where you belong. So what are the plans to bring in some tennis competitions, at least, if not for the established players, but then for the young ones? What are the plans to bring some of it on board?
That's one of the things we discussed at our inaugural meeting, that we are going to approach some corporate organizations for sponsorship, so that once we are able to get a sponsor, we will now look out. The coaches will now have to look out and get these players to come around. We'll make it an open one so that all those who are interested in participating will come up. From there, we can be able to pick those who are really in good form.
Those who are really in good form. Okay, any feedback from every other zones in your states apart from Ibadan? How is tennis?
Well,
Ogbomoso, Iba, Pa, and the likes and the likes. Any feedback from you? Maybe I will put that to the coach.
Well, like you said, to be honest, we still need more personnel because if we have enough coaches, they'll be able to go to all these zones. We have Ogbomoso, the Shaki, the Oyos. But for now,
For now, everything just revolve around the fact that in Ibadan alone, which
but what I know is that the new administrative coming up, I mean the new government, they will do better than the last one.
do better than the last one because first thing on the table, personnel, very very important. There's the technical input, there's the coaching side, and of course there are people to get information and the likes and the likes. I know it's a divided work. It's not just what I said. 4 coaches on board to take Oyo State to the next level. That will be very very tough. Okay, let's go to some of the activities of these players. What we have won for the state. I think people need to know so that they can know that we are not just It's good to talk about equipment and stuff, but then there have definitely been success along the line. So some of the success of these players, what they've brought on board, their laurels, or some of the name of these players.
In 2018, at the National Sports Festival, we won 1 silver and 3 bronze medals.
1 silver, 3 bronze medal.
Then the CBN Junior Championship 2018, under 12 boys, Mubarak Ganiu. The winner was Mubarak Ganiu, and he equally won the most valuable player.
Let me pick this call before we continue. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, your name and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Adekiri, yeah. My name is Adebayo Oladele.
Okay, Adebayo Oladele.
They made a program on last week Saturday.
I didn't hear you.
I said they make one Yoruba program on Saturday last week.
Not this
last
time.
Week.
Maybe in the afternoon. That will be around 2 p.m.
Around 4 o'clock, around 4 to 5.
And you can call at that time. This is a different program entirely. Thank you for that. You can call around 4 for that program. So you were saying?
Under 12 girls, the winner was Imole Afolabi.
Okay.
That's CBN Junior National Championship. Then the top place under 14 boys was won by Michael Akimusere.
Okay.
Then Snepco Junior Championship, runners up under 12 girl, Imole Afolabi. Third place under 12 boy was won by Mubarak Ganeu. Third place under 14 boy was won by Michael Akimusere. Then 2019, Sota Junior National Championship. The winner of under 12 boys was Mubarak Ganeu. Yeah.
Okay, that's your song?
Yeah. The coach's son. Then the runners up under 12 girls was Imole Afolabi. 2019 CBN Junior National Championship. Runners up under 14 boys, Mubarak Ganeu.
Again.
What is Kony under 12?
Under 12, under 14.
Mm-hmm. Runners up under 12 girls, Imole Afolabi. No, sorry. Third place under 14 girls, Imole Afolabi. Oh, not Then third place under 16 boys, Michael Akimusere. Snepco Junior National Championship 2019. Winner under 14, Mubarak Ganeu. For girls, we will have the same Imole Afolabi
So you've been mentioning the same sort of players moving from under 12
to
under
14.
That shows a significant improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I call that one, even though they are still young, established players now for me
Oh, sure.
because of their
performance,
development.
yeah.
So now we have to look for how we bring in people to replace
Place those ones.
That is the main reason for this. That is the work on ground.
Okay. Maybe I should come in on that.
Okay.
Like we said, to replace those players,
Yes.
we are the likes of Oyekashi, Ogun Jiofo.
Okay. That one.
Who won
That
West
won
African
because
this
it's
year?
below those players.
Okay.
He represent Nigeria at that West African tournament. Help Nigeria to qualify for the tournament that's supposed to play in August this year, but because of this pandemic, it was. So we have many young players like that. They have come up, and I think they will take the place of those ones that are moving on.
They take the place of those ones that are moving on. So automatically, or let me say, basically, there seems to be an improvement in the tennis despite the short of personnel and of course equipment.
Exactly.
So do we have any senior set of tennis players?
Well,
I mean, 18 years and above.
well, that's where we have a problem because those ones that they're supposed to take off from Mumuni Abdulmumi Babalola and Co. I think there is a little bit of issue with them. They have not been able to make up to the expectation. But I believe those ones coming up, before they get to the age of 15, 16, they will be a national champion.
Before they get to the age of 15, 16, they should be a national champion. We heard that from the coach of the All State Tennis Association, the head coach. So where do these guys train? Quickly, because of our time. Where do they train? Well, maybe somebody wants to just, maybe a kid or their parent is even listening. Where do they train?
We train at Adamasimba Sport Tennis Court.
Days of training?
Almost Monday to Friday. And Saturday morning, only morning.
Okay, so Monday to Friday morning and evening?
Yeah.
Yes.
All
morning.
category?
All category.
Saturdays alone, morning?
Morning, yes.
Can I come and train?
You are concerned. There's a room for adults.
Yeah, the hoop adults. I will also practice myself and see if I can play table tennis, lawn tennis. Okay, I've been speaking with the chairman of your state tennis association, Mr. Akin Orebiyi, and of course the coach joined us on the show as well. Coach Ganiyu, who is the head coach of Oyo State Tennis. Not too bad, Oyo State have been. Yes, some names have been making the state proud, like we've had. Of course, but then there's room for improvement. Of course, like I used to say, if these people are doing very well, they will tell you they are doing very well. But if they are doing the other side, they will still tell you that they are doing the other side. It is not being biased, it is not covering anything. All we need to do, I used to say, is join hands together. We can make Oyo State sports to another level. And like you had, the renovation of the sports stadium, Lagos Salami Stadium, have been approved by the governor. That's a good one for your state. So an international standard, I think everybody is looking forward to that. Since that have been mentioned. That will be the size of the package. Many thanks to the chairman. Thanks for coming on board. I hope when the coronavirus everything, eventually goes away and a lot of competition is coming on board, we want to know how better your state is doing. I hope that time you will be available as well.
Thank you very much. I will. I promise you.
Okay,
I'll be back to give you an update.
A very good feedback.
A
Not
very
just
good-
updates. No, there is update.
Okay. A very good feedback.
A very good feedback. Okay, to my coach, I think I've met with you once, twice, or even more than 5 times, definitely. I must commend you for the great work you're doing.
Thank you.
Not easy. Especially kids, it's so hard. A bit. But very good job you're doing. I must commend you on that. And thanks for coming
you.
on board this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay, that will be the start of the package this afternoon on Sport Drill on Professionals 106.7 FM. For your number one plug for grassroots sports. Anything grassroots sports, definitely you can just bank on Sport Drill to dish out that one to you. Give you anything you need to know. Of course, for any advert, inquiries, support, you can just get across to me on 090 26 72 10 42. 090 26 72 10 42. Definitely. We will link up together. Many thanks to my producer, Babatunde Tiamini. Of course, everybody who has been part of this, callers, Williams, all those who tried to call in couldn't get through. Everybody to have listened to us. And thanks so much for being part of this. Vladi Martins is the engineer behind here. Let us watch us on Facebook. Thank you so much. I used to say, sport is life. Always endeavor to exercise your heart. I remain Raymond to rule up with the Sports Illuminator. Don't forget, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Join me on Sports Thursday as we do a debate, a fantastic debate. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll keep it locked down. Pensioners 106.7 FM. Stay blessed.